Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, curious viewers, subscribers, lefty trolls, and whatever the hell else you identify as to my channel. Some of you may have noticed I haven't done a video in about a week, and I haven't been banned. I've just had a little hiatus. I've had other things on the go. I've been in cahoots with 3 other YouTubers on a little project. And also Christmas is just around the corner, so I've been helping to get ready with that bullshit. Anyway, so I thought I'd make a little video and tell you my opinion or what I think is going to happen between Russia, the Ukraine and the United States. Because if you haven't already noticed, or if you didn't know, that Russia has amassed 70,000 troops only 170 odd miles away from the Ukrainian border, and are planning to deploy another 100,000 troops along the border because experts in the US think that Putin is going to invade sometime soon. Now, you all know I am an ex-army guy. I'm not some military expert in these type of things. I was but a lowly corporal in an infantry regiment for 8 years, and I'm now enjoying life as a social commentator on YouTube with mostly political stuff. But when things like this happen, and you read between the lines, you can kind of tell what's going to happen. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. Nothing. Nothing is going to happen. There isn't going to be World War III. And if the Russians do indeed decide to invade the Ukraine, it'll be over in weeks, if not days. And the reasons are this. This is what I think anyway. First of all, the Russians aren't stupid.
His plan?
Russians don't take a dump, son, without a plan. And senior captains don't start something this dangerous without having thought the matter through.
What's he gonna do?
Well, at least they're not under Putin anyway. Think what you like of the guy, but he's a very smart man. He invaded the Ukraine when Obama was president of the United States, because he knew Obama wouldn't do anything about it. Even when Obama made that famous speech about the red line being crossed, well, Putin crossed that red line, and Obama did sod all. You see, the thing about Barack Obama is he was a good orator, he can give good speeches, and that's it. When it came to making decisions, he was like someone with autism who completely cracked when out of their comfort zone. And if rumours were true, the decision to kill Osama bin Laden was given by none other than Hillary Clinton. And say what you like about her, at least she was decisive. So she took the reins of that one when Obama faltered apparently, and the job was done. So credit where it's due. So Putin invaded the Crimea and Obama did nothing, and the Russians are still there. Thank you very much. Now, what I do know about warfare is, if you're going to do something like this, you're going to need a long-term plan. And I believe, and it's just my opinion, that the Crimea was merely a springboard for Ukraine all along, and the main objective was the whole of the Ukraine. There was absolutely no point whatsoever in Putin just sending all of his troops, or most of them, and antagonizing the United States as well for a really small area like the Crimea. It made no sense. However, Putin's plan for the Ukraine became stuck when Donald Trump became president of the United States, and Donald Trump was nothing like Barack Obama. You see, Donald Trump was unpredictable. He wasn't a politician. And if he said he was going to do something, he would do it. He did indeed carry a big stick. And both Trump and Putin knew that Trump would use it. And Putin didn't want that. So Putin either played the waiting game and either hope or help another candidate win the US presidency, or wait for Donald Trump's 2 terms, if he had a second term, to come to an end, meanwhile making sure he was elected himself again as the president of Russia, and then continue with his plan to take Ukraine. And I'll tell you what, folks, I bet Putin couldn't believe his luck when brain-dead bungalow Joe Biden somehow won that election. And then being given the gift of seeing how inadequate and inept Biden was when it came to that shambolic Afghan retreat. He put all his troops on the border with Ukraine, ready to invade. He wouldn't have dared do this if Donald Trump was still the US president. You know it, and I know it. And what was bungalow brain-dead Joe Biden's reply to this when he heard the news that Russia had amassed troops on the border with Ukraine? Well, he rang him and told him if Russia invades the Ukraine, then the US will slap the toughest economic sanctions ever. Like that means anything. And of course, the equally brain-dead idiot lefties on Twitter, especially the ones with the verified blue ticks, are congratulating Biden for this. And there's tweet after tweet asking others to retweet if you're proud to once again have a real American president who doesn't suck up to dictators like Putin. Well, I am sorry to say this, but I can assure you, if Biden was indeed a real American who did not suck up to Putin, then surely he would have sent troops there to counter any possible Russian invasion, and perhaps wag that big stick in front of Putin's face, which of course he won't do. So Putin is literally going to take the Ukraine with no opposition, apart from maybe something from the punitive Ukrainian forces. I'm telling you now, folks, nothing will happen, and Biden will do nothing. And it's crazy because they impeached Donald Trump for a phone call with Ukraine, and then Biden comes in and he will literally give Ukraine to Russia. That's what's going to happen. So if you're a dictator somewhere in the world and you want a piece of land desperately, then now's the time to do it. Get all your soldiers, get all your forces, and simply invade, because the West will do nothing. There isn't a leader in the West now with the backbone and the balls to stop you, because our society is weak. It has produced weak men and women who are now infesting our politics, who couldn't make a simple decision if their life depended on it, because they are more interested in suppressing free speech and treating proud nationalist patriots like some sort of terrorists, and not to mention importing a culture that is simply not compatible with Western values. After all, folks, we have around 1,000 people a day, mainly men, rowing over the channel in little dinghies here to England, and they're allowed to stay. The government aren't stopping them. The Royal National Lifeboat Institution are quite literally helping them. And we've got weak lefties encouraging them to come over. And these people are only in little dinghies. So if you can't stop them, then we haven't got a hope in hell if Putin decided to have a crack at the United Kingdom after he's done with the Ukraine. Because let's face it, folks, if the authorities here can't stop unarmed people in dinghies, then the full might of the Russian military will simply make them roll over and accept Russian rule. And as for our piss-weak British army, and folks, it gives me no pleasure to say that as a former British serviceman, but it is that it's piss-weak, it's been reduced to nothing, it's been cut to the bone, and it'll be completely ineffective against the Russian war machine, simply because there aren't enough of them, and political correctness has spread through the army, the armed forces in general, like a cancer. Because if you remember on my old channel, I made a video about the British Army's laughable recruiting campaign, when they wanted to recruit people like this, and most definitely did not want anyone who was patriotic or proud to be British, because they brought out this stupid and ridiculous so-called extreme right-wing indicator. And what it was a chart that told soldiers the signs to look out for if any of their colleagues was a so-called right-wing extremist. And one of the signs was someone who was patriotic. I mean, I don't have the words, folks, I really don't. But when you add all this up, it really is depressing. And quite frankly, I think this country, this island, is now ripe for the picking. And this is exactly what Yuri Bezmenov was talking about. And I will keep coming back to the guy, because what the guy said is completely right, and it's coming true. Society is being weakened, and it's been weakened by people like Putin and other dictators who have flooded the West with Marxist, socialist, communist ideologies so they can do shit like this, and no one does a damn thing about it. So the Russians and Putin, they're going to take the Ukraine easily. And it helps that a high percentage of the Ukrainians are Russian speakers. So Putin, being the smart guy that he is, more than likely used the time that Donald Trump was in office to flood the Ukraine with Russian dissidents that would put a positive spin on a Russian takeover. That's how these things work. And I'm not a military expert, but you can see it coming, you can see how it's worked, and you can see the end game and the end results. That's what I think anyway. Please let me know what you think in the comments. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If World War III does indeed crack open because of what happens, then this video wouldn't have aged well. But at least I've been allowed to give my tuppence on it. And speaking of tuppence, if you wish to support my channel, support free speech, and support what I'm doing, because YouTube have demonetized me. Because I speak my mind, folks. And my mind to them, because I am a conservative free thinker, is simply wrong think. Yet it's okay for them to slap adverts on my channel and profit from my work, and I think that's wrong. So that's why I've set up the Buy Me a Beer thing, and the link is down below if you wish to do so. Thank you very much in advance. Right, that's it. That's my video. Please comment, share, subscribe. And until my next one, Roger Trout.